And they're going to eat for free. Leonard for three. Oh, that's what he does.
The NBA's got a new resting policy, ladies and gentlemen, and your boy thinks it's absolutely ridiculous. I'll read the details to you guys, and then we'll get into what I think about it. On September 13th, the NBA Board of Governors approved new rules that will make it harder for teams to utilize load management, everybody's favorite word in the NBA, right? New resting policies rules will make it less than likely for star players to sit out during nationally televised games and in-season tournament games. Teams with multiple stars will also not be freely allowed to rest said players together in regular season matchups. That's really what I want to focus on. The fact that it feels like Adam Silver understands that guys are going to get rest, but he does not want guys resting at the same time on the same team. If the resting policy is violated, teams can be fined by the league office. A quote-unquote star player, which is what we're going to talk about today, is being defined as a player who has been selected as an all-star or all-NBA team member in any of the last 3 seasons. 26 teams and 49 players will be impacted by this new rule. We're going to read all the players in a second. That is meant to stiffen and stifle load management across the league. Load management is a term where teams obviously rest players, but not because of injury, but as a way to keep them fresh for future games. Here is the list of the 49 guys that are technically under these new rules in which these dudes cannot be rested in the same games. Y'all let me know what y'all think. The Hawks got 2 guys in DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. The Nets only got 1 guy in Ben Simmons. That works out perfectly for them. The Boston Celtics got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. The Hornets got LaMelo. Chicago's got DeMar, Zach, and Vucevic. Cleveland's got Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. Dallas got Luka and Kyrie. Denver's got Jokic. That's kind of a cheat code because Jamal Murray's like really an all-star. The Warriors got 4 guys. They got Steph, Dre, Wiggins, and then Chris. That's like a cheat code because Clay, you can say, is like a star caliber guy. Houston's got Fred VanVleet. Indiana's got Tyrese Halliburton. The Clippers got Paul George and Kawhi. They're like the highlight of this. When I think of load management, I think about them first. The Lakers got AD and Bron. The Grizzlies got Jaren and Ja. Miami's got Bam and Jimmy. Milwaukee's got a threesome of Giannis, Drew, and Chris. That sounded crazy. Minnesota's got 4. I thought this was hilarious because they got Mike Conley. Mike actually fits the bill here, alongside AE, Rudy Gobert, and Karl Anthony Towns. The Pelicans got Zion. The Knicks got Julius Randle. The Thunder got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Sixers got their 2 best players as of right now, Embiid and Harden. Suns got 3 now because they got Bradley Beal and also Book and KD. Portland's got Dame. Sacks got De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. Toronto's got Pascal Siakam. And then the Utah Jazz have Lauri Markkanen. So all of these guys technically fall under the build of they can't be missing games together. We don't have to get into the specifics of it, but just know the NBA is going to try to crack down on these guys that I just read. As of next season, if you pay your money to go to an NBA game, you should at least see, for the teams that got multiple guys, you should at least see one of these guys out there, if not all, right? You know, I get it, man. The NBA is a very difficult long-term sport. We obviously know in the moment, sports like NFL and hockey just seem to be way more physically challenging, just naturally. You know, sports like the NBA and MLB are much more of a long-term burden on your body. Like there, you could see former players like, you know, they limp when they walk. And I don't know how this generation of stars are going to age because these guys take better care of their bodies and they don't play as much as guys of the past do, like, you know, season in, season out. But these dudes low manage. So I'm curious to see, like, how are guys like Tim Duncan and David Robinson going to continue to age, right? Are they going to be limping in 10 years? These are dudes that, you know, both benefited from load management on a pop. Is Tony Parker going to be limping in a few years? I don't know. That's a good question, right? I just want to see how guys age. Is Kevin Durant and Bron going to be limping in 15 years when they're done playing? We think LeBron will be done in 15 years. I'm curious to see those kind of things because I can tell you right now, what happened to me last season shouldn't happen to anybody. To celebrate my 29th birthday, me and my wife went to Los Angeles and we did a double. So we went to see the Milwaukee Bucks back-to-back nights. So this is around the time that LeBron had broke the record. So I went to see Giannis versus Bron and AD, and then the next night was Giannis versus Kawhi and Paul George. So the first night, LeBron, who had broke the record the previous game against the Thunder, which I really wasn't mad at because I thought I was going to get the record-breaking game, but I didn't because I bought those tickets I had those tickets a while back. They were actually given to me. So I wasn't mad that Bron didn't play. He did do a pregame speech, but the reality is I went to LA to see Giannis versus Bron, which I don't know how many more years we're going to get that classic matchup of two all-time greats, and Bron ain't play. So it's like, all right, damn, I'll give Bron a pass. He did have the whole family there. The great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in the house. I had great seats. I didn't feel like I got cheated too much. The next night, though, was ridiculous, right? So me and my wife, we go to the Crypto.com arena again, back-to-back nights. Obviously, now everything's set up for the Clippers. And I'm moving around the building. You know, we're actually dining in the Clippers' beautiful season ticket area. So me and my wife actually bump in to the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, obviously the richest owner in the NBA. And it's not even close. By the way, you can pretty much combine most of the owners' net worths with Steve Ballmer's net worth. Like, Steve Ballmer's like one of the richest people ever. Me and my wife, we bump into this guy because we're floating around in the season ticket area, right, where they're doing dinner and all that. And like, she didn't know who the hell he was. And it took me a second to realize who the hell he was. And by the time I realized it, I was like, oh, it's too late. Wait, that was Steve Ballmer. Wait, that's one of the richest people in like, it's like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, them, and then right under that, the richest ever list, right under is like Steve Ballmer. Like, this dude is rich as hell. You can pretty much combine the other owners' net worths with, and it don't even equal to his, right? This dude is unreal rich, by the way. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is I see him coming out of the elevator and he's pissed. Like, he didn't speak to nobody. You would expect the owner to just, kind of be thankful to everybody, for being in the building. And by the way, not only is he an owner, he's about to own a new arena. So in a couple years, you will literally be in his house, He was pissed. And I was wondering, why the hell was he so pissed? And it goes to, you find out a few minutes later, as me and my wife take our seats. I had great seats for this game as well. And I'm sitting next to an NBA referee, and we're just talking, a longtime NBA referee. And like a few seconds before tip, we're looking around and we're like, wait, do you see Kawhi? And I'm like, nah, I don't see Kawhi. And, out of nowhere, Kawhi is not on the court. Like, he's a DNP, he's a scratch. But it would have had to have been a late scratch, though. Keep in mind, this is February. Kawhi and them already had missed a lot of time in the season. Paul George did play, but there was no Kawhi. And the point I'm trying to make is, that's nasty. Like, fans, and I believe Steve Ballmer had just found out minutes before the game that Kawhi wasn't playing. Allegedly, he was a last-minute scratch, and there was never any reason why he missed that game. And I just thought that was ridiculous. For me to go to L.A., obviously, the flights are the flights. Everybody's not getting, tickets handed to them like I got. These are Clippers and Lakers tickets. Those Lakers tickets are always going to be expensive. Not to mention it's LeBron, it's AD, it's Giannis, which Giannis had a big fan base come support him in LA during his only trip to Los Angeles in the season, if I'm not mistaken. Them tickets don't get discounted when Kawhi decides not to play. When LeBron decides not to play, you don't get like $75 back on the tickets or $100. That has to change. So I commend Adam Silver for trying to do something. It appears that Adam has got his mind, on trying to make sure this tournament doesn't end up being a huge L. If you can see, like that's what I think he's worried about. Adam believes in this in-season tournament that's going to happen to kick the year off and go through December. I think he's scared that a lot of teams are not going to take it serious. That's what I think he thinks. And we'll see what ends up happening. I don't like it from the standpoint of what I said on my previous episode. I think actually episode 1, when I was like, the only thing I got with this is, every team has all-stars to them. I brought up Memphis as an example because I'm from there. I know that Ja and Jaren fit this they fit the build of this 49 guys, right? But to me, like Desmond Bane is an all-star to that fan base. And if you pay for a Grizzlies ticket, you want to see Desmond Bane. Maybe you want to see Ja Moore, but you definitely want to see Desmond Bane. So now it's almost like, okay, there are ways to get around this. Because think about it from this standpoint, adding to this list is going to be hard because you now got to play 65 games to even be award eligible. So now you're pretty much incentivizing some of these teams with young stars to not play their guys 65 games, because if they never play 65 games, then they're not on all pro teams, they're not on all NBA teams, they're not on all-star teams, right? They're not playing enough. So you're kind of incentivizing teams to make sure their guys never win accolades or awards. Obviously, there are, financial incentives for these guys to win awards, but as a team, if you're Greg Popovich right now, you're not going to let Victor Wembanyama become an all-star year one because Pop is going to want to load manage him. I don't know. We'll see if this works. I have my doubts. The biggest is because what's going to stop a team from saying, yo, bro, I'm not load managing my guy. I'm not sitting him out for rest. His knee actually hurts. His knee is sore. He went through a pregame shoot around and he doesn't feel right. His ankle is sprained. Like, how can you stop that from happening? I just think that's such a difficult thing because at the end of the day, you can't tell a man how to feel about his body. And I always have told you guys, to me, the real way to stop load management is to take some of the money away from the players. That, to me, that's your only way you got it this, because the way that they're trying to do, you need these guys to feel like their jobs are at stake. Right now with these long-term guaranteed 30, 40 plus $1 million deals a year, guys don't really feel like they got to be the best partners with the NBA because they get in their bag regardless. I hate to say it like this because you want everybody to make their money. That doesn't affect you. But it feels like the only way to ever see real change is not trying to come up with a new resting policy, is to get better partners in the NBA and make your partners realize there's more at stake and that growing the product is a part of the job.